Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. So I have some scrolls from iScry with Steph. I had to pick from a bunch of scroll sets. So if you're interested in any of her scroll sets, I will have her link down in the description box below. Navigate over to her channel and she has her information posted up over there. I have some stones as well. We'll be doing stones on top of this. We'll see where they land and what that adds to this message. I may or may not pull cards. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If you are a channel member, you are going to have a live on either the full moon or the equinox. I have yet to decide. So just keep an eye out on the community posts. I'll decide and I'll make an announcement whenever that's going to be. If you're interested in channel memberships, that link will be in the description box below. Okay, and then if you're interested in the last round of classes, we are booking for the end of April. Those classes are about to sell out, so if you're interested in classes, definitely check that link out in the description box as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Taking a step aside. And allowing Spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. Just keep wanting to do this. There's something cyclical. There's something that around and round and round and round. And this is in the past. It's sitting on top of a sun glyph, so this has been illuminated to us. This looks like lungs to me, so it's something heart related, I feel like. Something that we thrived off of for a little while. Maybe we didn't realize that we were thriving off of it, right? This feels a little bit like an addiction of some kind. So it may be, for example, smoking a lot, or I don't know, just because of the lungs. But it can also be thriving off of our own drama, right? Like putting ourselves in situations that really self-harm and not realizing that we actually thrive off of that. Interesting. Either way, whether it's thriving or not, there's some sort of cycle that we put behind us in the past. And it feels a little bit like that was a big part of our life for some time, whatever this is. Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is making me think of, just because it came up last week, I did a reading, I mentioned M62, and I noticed that a bunch of people in the comments mentioned that M62 can be seen through Ophiuchus. And when we look out that way in space, we're really facing like the center of the galaxy, like from as viewed from Earth. And so there's something here about this was a centrifugal thing inside of our life, whatever this cycle is that we passed up. Whoever this collective is, the message is coming through is aligned to you. You're aligning to something. We've put this in the past and now we're aligning to something. It feels like there is a higher level being stepping forward now, as I'm moving over to the scroll. And it does feel, I'm just gonna say this, that I feel that for a lot of you, this higher level being feels a little interdimensional to me. It's also coming through with space being on the Ophiuchus scroll. This, for some of you, you may be experiencing this as an angelic guide, for example, but others of you are going to be experiencing it a little bit more interdimensionally. Okay, and that being is telling me to go ahead and throw the stones. So, okay. There's some sort of information or downloads that are being given right now from this being, and this being is asking that you ground them with the garnet falling at its feet, grounding it into a practical way. This being seems to have been leading us, but our access to this being hasn't opened up until recently. Some of you are experiencing this being in not so ideal ways, meaning it may be taking a form that's quite terrifying to you. And if you've been following me on this channel, you know what I think about that. Quite the opposite from what most people would tell you. And so this being doesn't seem to have the need to conform to our ideas of beauty, right? It doesn't feel like it's trying to appear the way that we want it to. It's trying to make us grow beyond that. So this being has helped us in some way get past a cycle of fear, or is trying to help us through that in order to accept things as they are. This is part of somebody's lessons that they've gone through here, whether you are or aren't actually experiencing this being, because of course we have help that we don't necessarily experience. Here what I'm seeing is I'm seeing this amethyst standing on its right side, and so there is some sort of mission that this sort of entity or being has in our life in terms of elevating us spiritually, with this amethyst showing up here. Now I do want to say that over here with this cycle impacted our solar plexus a great deal. I'll just show the stone real fast. It impacted our solar plexus a great deal. And so what's taking place now is we've healed through that. There seems to be some sort of heart space opening as well as the throat chakra opening. And this has been coming through for a couple weeks for this collective. There's also something here about spiritual abilities opening up with my prophecy stone sitting over here on the right. I think this is starting to begin for somebody, but it's going to open up even more as you go on. One of the things that's showing up over here is this carnelian. So this is making me feel a little bit like there's some sort of primal connections coming together. I don't know how else to put it other than that, but primal connections. If you look at this, I believe this one came out yesterday. I could be wrong about that. But if you look, it's like a circle of people and their wings are holding hands. And so this is like a spiritual collective that is joining together energetically, whether they're actually in your life or it's just happening in like an astral sense, right? A higher dimensional sense. This being seems to be causing this to happen, like you're ready now is kind of the energy. And like I said, there's something about this collective that we're aligning to something, and I feel that it is something that on a collective level is happening right now. We're aligning to others energetically, spiritually, maybe even tangibly. You might be noticing that you're starting to align and click in with people around you just a little bit more, even if they live at a distance. But it feels like this is also aligning you to your highest timeline. Now, given my perception of time, I don't necessarily like the use of the word timelines, but that's the only word that we have to really describe it. So that's what I'm using. What I have here is this one did come out yesterday, and this in yesterday's reading, or 2 days ago, the reading, it represented a mask coming down, so seeing our true self. This is something that's happened now that we've kicked this, whatever it is. It's allowed us to see our true strength, our true power, our true authenticity, right? There's something else going on in here, though. When I'm looking at this now, this almost looks like an insect that has like crab hands or like, little hands, and it seems to be like lapping something up. We're gaining new experiences. Whoever this message is for, whatever collective this is for, it feels like we're stepping into new experiences, things that maybe are outside of our comfort zone, things that we wouldn't have done before. And this is helping to further open that heart space. Maybe we're going out on long drives, and while we're sitting in the car having these long drives, we're having all this like healing take place. I am feeling a strong connection between this stone and this stone right now. And so it's telling me that this heart connection healing that's taking place, it's also clearing something out of our sacral chakra. There's an element in this with this showing up next. I'm gonna just briefly show it real fast. This it's making me, this always makes me think of like a uterus and ovaries, right? So there's something here about clearing out energy that we received in the womb. I hope that makes sense. The energy that's passed from our mother that we carry into this life, right? Someone here has been working on energy like that. That's not for everybody, but someone here has definitely been working on energy like that. This seems to be something regarding security and safety that's coming through, because it's aligning me up here again and releasing this to not just heal sort of like our ancestry and spirit, but also to heal ourselves, to free ourselves of something regarding safety, because now I'm seeing this creature, it's almost like flipped. And here it was like, gaining new experiences. And here, when I look at it this way, it's almost like it's got its hands open, like it's accepting, it's receiving, which is the same stance that this being has. So this being, in some ways, is trying to help you become like it. This feels like, in that way, it feels like someone in our soul collective who has ascended higher than us, who is working to help the rest of its collective do the same. So this is very much a guide energy that's stepping forward here. Now I'm being drawn to flip this way now. There's something that we're cutting free from. I don't know that this is a serious attachment in somebody's life, but it feels like we're cutting free of something. This feels very energetic. On an energetic level, we're cutting free of something that maybe we've carried with us for a little while. Again, I don't feel that it's on the forefront for everybody, so this is going to be something that's kind of like in the background that we are aware of. It's just not a predominant force inside of our life like this was, right? But we are cutting free of something. I do see this 8. This is something we're trying to manifest something for ourselves. We're trying to create something better for ourselves, and we realize that in order to do that, we have to cut free of something. I'm noticing that it is sitting under this heartstone for me, and so I think this is bloodstone. I think it is. And so what it's saying to me is that we're cutting free of something that we have attached to in our heart. And this is because we're trying to create a better foundation or create something that's more grounded in solace. We're trying to pull something in. So whoever this message is for, whatever collective this is, you are aligning to your highest timeline because you're doing all the necessary steps in order to clear out old stories, old narratives from this life, even from the soul, even from, our ancestors that have been given to us. This is like absolutely liberating ourselves. So this is interesting how these have fallen, right? They've all fallen in a circle. And there's one that's projecting outward, and that's this malachite. The malachite sitting on top of this. This is like, it's making me think of like a purified heart in some way. And this purified heart in some way is directly related with this newfound ability that's going to open up. As we clear that heart space, as we open up that heart space, as we learn to see that all of the experiences we have in life, whether from our side or the other side, they're different expressions of love. That's why we say love is everything, right? They're different expressions of love. I know not everybody's going to get that, but for those of you who are ready to hear that, you're going to understand what that means. There's this right here. When I get into this energy, this is weird for me to explain to people. So sometimes I talk about it like it's a helicopter about to land. But for me, when I see this really reminds me of in Eastern religion, right? How they'll have the third eye with like the three lines, especially in Hinduism. And there's something here about a greater level of being coming into that cosmic self, right? It's really transforming ourselves into somebody that is able to understand that the mind is extremely powerful and our perceptions are extremely powerful. Someone here is learning to perceive themselves as a creator with a womb sitting above them, right? That this right now becomes a higher focus. Someone here was lost inside the cycle, inside the dream, inside the illusion, right? And as you've removed yourself from this and you've taken yourself into this collective with the help of this healing guide or this leading guide, we seem to be going through a cycle now of removing all the extra dross from the heart space that is keeping us from experiencing life and the experiences in life as different aspects of love, whether it's coming from someone else and their aspects of love or from us and our aspects of love. Let's see. There's something here about everything going according to plan. Not something I usually say, but I'm going to say it. And the reason why is because right now, when I was looking at this just now, this looked like smoke and these look like pistons. And it just looked like a machine that was just operating everything in its right time, in its right place. If the timing on one of those pistons gets off or, anything is just misaligned just a little bit, it throws the whole system off. And one of the messages coming through from this being is that everything is happening according to plan. Everything is happening exactly as it should be. So somebody seems to need that message for right now. Let's see. Okay, I am being told to pull a few cards here. One for the center. Okay, gambler, loss, risk. Okay, so that brings me back down to this, where we seem like we're cutting something, right? What we seem to be cutting here, for some of you, it's removing this energy of FOMO out of your life, right? When we have that energy of a fear of missing out on something, we hold on to or we chase things that aren't meant for us, and that deep down inside we know that. But what if, right? What if that person's just right and we just don't see it right now, right? Like we just don't see it. What if this job will work out? It doesn't pay as much as I want. It's not going to do what I want, but just what if? And there's a what if where we sit in this conscious creator energy that I'm seeing here, where we can create because we have this positive understanding of how to direct our willpower and how to say no to the appropriate things. And then there's the what if that comes from a place of lack. That may be one thing that somebody is actually working on right now, is cleaning up that sort of lack energy so that they can can come into a more abundant, fulfilled place, like what I see here in the near future for this collective. I do think that this higher level being, there's like this hourglass aspect to it if you look at it. I don't know if anybody else sees that, but for me that's what it's like. And it's not that the sand is running out, it's just that there's something here about time. Time is of the essence. Again, timing, right? There's all this like very divine alignment, divine timing sort of energy coming through in this. You know, if it aligns to you, aligning to something new, these pistons working at the right times. There's something about time. There's something else coming through about time. I don't understand what this is though. Let's see. Okay, I'm being told to switch. What is this coming through, please? Okay. Again, justice, natural order, time. Let's see, one more. So we have the death card showing, the 13th card showing up on the 13th scroll here, and we have the hangman. Okay, I heard take it in reverse. I normally don't. Okay. Okay. So there seems to be the thing about time here, and the right time here. There is this lack, there's this heartbreak. And the reason why I switched it, if you notice I switched it when they fell, I switched places, it's because I said switch when I picked up a deck. And then when those fell, I heard switch again. So I did it. There was this energy here of this heartbreak that caused a loss here. And then this heartbreak for some of you, it may be grief, it may be because someone has passed away. So there seems to be something within our heart space that since this passing, we've been working through a lot, right? In terms of the energy that we've received from whoever this individual was, whether it was, you know, situations that occurred inside of life, or if it was, again, something that we took from the womb. Now, others of you, this is an ending that we suffered that caused a great deal of heartache, that we may have gone through life thinking that we had cleared up. This doesn't necessarily have to be a breakup or anything like that, right? It can be anything. It can be feeling abandoned as a child, but there's something here where there may have been issues in our solar plexus energy, our self-confidence, our worth, our value, what we think is possible for ourselves, what we think that we can go out and do. I am picking up a heavy energy of like self-efficacy issues that were over here that was fueling this sort of cycle and this sort of FOMO energy that is being worked through at this time. And that self-efficacy issue is definitely stemming from a place of lack. So, you know, that can look like imposter syndrome, right? Where we don't go after the things that we want. We don't do the things that we need to do for ourselves because we always feel like we're not necessarily good enough. This has been an energy that inside of the past of whoever this collective is. And so one of the things that this being is trying to work on with someone is to get them unstuck, right? When we have the Eight of landed on top of this. When we have the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Swords is that energy of feeling like you can't do anything, feeling like you can't move, feeling like there's nothing that can be done here. And but really that's in our mind, right? So the majority of our issues and our problems as human beings that we perceive are just that. They're our perception on things. And it's not until you start working through that and you start changing your perception that you can actually see that. It's wild. I got into that because I was just giving somebody the, you know, like the benefit of the doubt. I had a friend that was always telling me, you know, but it's just your perception. It's just your perception. I thought, man, you are naive. You had a really easy life and that made you naive. And, but I just decided one day, okay, we're going to try things her way. Let's try it. And, lo and behold, lo and freaking behold. So, yeah, whoever is this is resonating for, you're definitely getting out of this space. This is the big thing that this guide is helping you with right now, is getting stuck in your mind, right? Helping you get out of that, helping you to open up that vision, take that blindfold off, loose the bounds on your own arms, and understand you have all the power that you need, you have all the strength that you need, everything that you need is already inside of you. And this is taking, you're going to take a risk. Whoever this is, you are going to take a risk here, because we have this sitting under there. There's gamble and risk. I feel that someone here, you may take a risk to reach out in some way. This may be reaching out to find soul tribe. This may be putting yourself out there. I'm getting that because of the Page of Cups, right? This for me is a very sincere offering, and this offering is something that is about something deep within our soul with that cup energy. That's our emotions. That's like I want to bring attention to this fish that's really speaking to me about Pisces season right now. So I think this is something that either we're thinking about right now, or we've already begun to do, right? We've already started to put ourselves out there. There's a right time coming in here. And so this is the reason why this message is coming forward. I don't feel that it's saying hurry up or you'll miss the timing. I don't feel like it's saying that, but there is sort of like this perfection of time that's coming through. And that Justice card with, the divine order is followed by the Hangman. And this is some sort of realization, some sort of metanoia, some sort of moment where everything inside of our perception shifts and we understand that we have the forces to create. Again, falling on this pillar of creation that we had with this sort of third eye and womb energy that was coming through. Now, the interesting thing about this, going back to Odin, right? Hangs on a tree, sacrifices his eye, gains the knowledge of the runes, right? The forces of nature and how to control them. This is what somebody's learning. You're learning how to control all the things that you need to create something that beautiful for yourself inside of your life, to create reality, right? This is like God making. This whole process, it's like God making. Okay, I'm being told to recast the stones, so we're going to do this one more time. Okay. Now, I'm not reading them in relation to the cards. I'm reading this almost like a rune reading. Interesting. Probably because I just mentioned runes. We have the Malachite sitting kind of opposite this. What is this? I don't know why I'm blanking. The yellow one. The lemon drop. I'm going to call it the lemon drop. And again, this sort of heart in opposition to our solar plexus. There's a block there, and this is what they're starting to. This is what this being is trying to help us through, so that these things don't sit in opposition. Now, the heart also seems to be weighing down our spiritual evolution, our growth in some way, and so this is one reason why this is what is being worked on at this time. I do have this bloodstone sitting with this prophecy stone. This is what is keeping our spiritual abilities maybe grounded a little bit. And so once we eliminate that, once this heals between our heart and our solar plexus, you're going to find that you have your psychic abilities kind of blossom, right? I think we saw that earlier over here, and I think that's starting already for somebody. Their psychic abilities are starting to blossom. I have this line between the heart, the solar plexus, and the sacral chakra. So again, there's some sort of sacral chakra energy that's starting to bubble up as we're working through this heart block, and it's sitting opposite of this garnet. This is foundation. So for some of you, this is family matters. These are, early childhood memories, family matters. Again, maybe energy we took from the mother, or the energy that we took from our father. The energy that we were conceived in is very important. That can set up a lot of energetic patterns for us because it's an energy inside of us, right? It's the energy that we are created with. So some of you may be working through some of that, and that's very unfair and hard work. But whoever is doing that, congratulations, because whatever you're doing, you are aligning to, again, your highest timeline, and that's the whole point that this being is bringing forward. There seems to be this feeling of being stuck, and the message that's coming through is, don't worry, you're not stuck, and you're about to find that out. We have this Queen of Pentacles is sitting down here that I realized I didn't really talk about until now. Now she's standing out to me, and this is where we learn to nurture ourselves, and we learn to grow ourselves, right? Notice those colors again, that red, the green, and then that's yellow, right? The yellow, the red, the green. Over here I'm seeing green, yellow, and orange next to the red here. But this is saying that these are the three things that are being highlighted, right? Our foundations, our family, our stability, directly affecting our stability, our solar plexus, regaining some sort of security within the self so that we can get ourselves out of this. We've already gotten this stuff eliminated, this lack, this loss, and now we have to understand that we have the ability. We don't have to wait for somebody else else's permission. We don't have to wait for someone else to validate us or give us a certificate or, tell us all these things. Whatever we need, we have all of that inside of us. It doesn't mean that you don't need certification for something if you do need that. But what I mean is that you have all the power inside of you to be able to do whatever it is that you think that you can't currently do. It just requires bravery to take some sort of risk and to step out. So with this, there's also this element, again, with this rabbit, it is speaking about March. So we have this heavy energy that's coming through for me about this time period that I'm posting this reading, that this is going to be the moment when someone takes a risk and they put themselves out there. This putting themselves out there is part of the process of this being, is bringing us through to align us to soul tribe or spiritual connections, a collective that this being belongs to, who this being elevated before them and is now helping them. So whoever this message is for, this is a very beautiful energy. There's a lot of healing that's taking place, especially within that sacral chakra, I feel, and that is directly affecting, again, this heart space, or the heart space is affecting the sacral chakra. And this is going to lead you to understanding that, the forces of the universe, the forces of creation, the forces of the power of creation, sustaining, destroying, those are all things that are inside of you. So if this message resonates for you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time.